It is never okay to bankrupt America. That, according to Elon Musk, he is now being very, very outspoken about what he calls the disgusting abomination, aka the big, beautiful bill. Elon Musk is getting behind the theme of kill the bill. Again, Elon Musk clearly sees the big, beautiful bill adding trillions of dollars to our national debt. And he is letting the world know that it is, in his words, a disgusting abomination. And the folks that approved it or voted for it were not thinking about the next generation or the generation after that. On top of that, Ron Johnson rips the big, beautiful bill as immoral, setting up a very interesting environment in the Senate. Again, there was talk about having the big, beautiful bill on President Trump's desk by 4th of July. It seems like it might get killed, or it just might get revised and be something else. So again, pay attention. This is by no means over. I expect there to be a lot of theater and a lot of action. We did get the Beige Book yesterday, which is really a summary of the 18 Fed districts. Frankly, normally in a normal environment, it is a yawn, right? We get enough data on the economy that the Beige Book is really not all that valuable. However, we are in a time where every economic data point is important because the economy, I think, is changing. It is slowly going from soft data to hard data. And when we have an inflection point, when the economy has an inflection point, it is really important to pay attention. So what did the Beige Book say? We're going to go over, what is this, seven factors or sections and really highlight what we took from the Beige Book. Number one, economic activity. When you go and you summarize the 18 districts, economic, wow, need more caffeine. Economic activity was in a slight decline when you look at the 18 districts. How about consumer spending? Mostly flat to slightly down. Again, these are summaries of the 18 districts. Manufacturing, slight decline. Labor markets, mostly unchanged. Wages, modest growth. Prices, widespread expectations that tariff cost will be passed through. And then finally, the general outlook, slightly pessimistic and uncertain. Again, what does this mean? This means that the uncertainty that was caused by Liberation Day, the trade war, tariffs, all of this is turning into hard data. We are seeing consumers behave different. We are seeing companies behave different. And it is starting to impact the general economy. That is my takeaway from the Beige Book. Again, pessimistic, slight decline, widespread expectations of higher prices. These are not good things. It's Thursday, so let's get into the weekly unemployment claims. Last week, we warned you that we had a yellow flag on the field when I believe unemployment claims were reported at 240. It was revised slightly to 239. However, we've taken another step higher. Weekly unemployment claims, folks, not good, 247. We have one more week. If we get a number over 245 next week, we have a new trend. We have a new trend, and the trend is not positive. Again, we have been here before. I remember a 2-week period, I want to say in the November timeframe, I could be wrong, might have been October, where we had a couple of weeks spike, and then it went right back to 220. Again, we are not concerned with weekly unemployment claims at 220. We are concerned if it keeps rising and then it goes to 250 and 260. And heaven forbid it jumps to 300. Then we have a real problem. These weekly unemployment claims, again, the increase really makes tomorrow's job numbers super important. Remember, folks, the ADP report yesterday, the private payrolls, was a 5 sigma event, meaning it missed to the 5 sigmas. And if you don't remember your math classes, 5 sigmas or 5 standard deviation miss is gigantic. It is not common. So tomorrow, we still have the over-under in place. I want to hear from you. Let's get the comment section going. If I tell you that the jobs number tomorrow is 100,000, you can take the over, meaning you think more jobs are created, or you can take the under. And I'll just put it right here. I'm taking the under. I think there is a very, very good chance that the number has 2 digits, meaning like 87, 79, something like that, 1,000. So again, the number tomorrow is very important. I do want to highlight a very valuable video yesterday that many of you missed. It's with a living legend. I was lucky enough to get Dolph DeRoos on the channel, somebody who has been doing real estate since the 1980s, folks, the 1980s. His book, 52 Houses in 52 Weeks, was something I read right after Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He also wrote a bestseller called Real Estate Riches that sold almost 3 million copies. You were going to watch that video. I think the title of the video is Real Estate Riches, Living Legend or something like that. Do yourself a favor. The guy is a bundle of energy. He has amazing stories, and I know you will get value out of that 30-minute conversation. Make it a point to listen to Dolph DeRoos' Real Estate Riches video. You will not be disappointed. And if you are, tell me in the comments, and I'll stand corrected. Let's talk about, let's go Fed. Let's talk about the Fed. We got a bunch of Fed speak, Fed member Kashkari. Bond and stock market are sending very different signals. I completely agree. The stock market is acting like we're in a booming economy, and the bond market, man, did you see the bond market dump yesterday after that weak ADP report? I think it was down like, the 10-year was down like 10 basis points, maybe 11. It's crazy. Also from Kashkari, Fed must wait and see as the economy faces uncertainty. Okay, great. Labor market showing signs of slowing. Bingo, 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 asterisk, red star, bold. That's the one, folks. I agree. I think the labor market is starting to crack. And nothing can get the Fed to move faster than a collapsing labor market. Anybody else I got from the Fed? Let me look at my 2 pages of notes. Nope, that's the only one I got, Kashkari. GDP now, I don't know if you guys checked it out, but GDP now is showing 4.6% growth in Q2 GDP. That is a monster quarter. I do think it's interesting that the experts, the talking heads on TV, still have GDP at 1%. 1%. So again, GDP now, and again, remember, GDP now is a nowcasting. It's updating all the time, and it gets more accurate the closer it gets to the end of the quarter. And you know, the last week was June 2nd, so you know, 2/3 of the quarter is over, so it's starting to get pretty accurate. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of weeks. Given the weak job market and the warning in the unemployment claims today, traders are now betting the first rate cut is September. It was December just a couple of days ago. I guess the bond market is starting to see the employment market crack, and that is coming. Let's talk about my health update. All of you know that my goal for my hard thing to do in 2025 is to take this 53-year-old body from 34.8% body fat down to double digits, or down to sub double digits. I'm trying to get to 9.9 or better. As of this morning, we got 12.4% body fat. So we've made tremendous progress. Over the last 6 weeks or so, we've lost 15 pounds of fat, added 7 pounds of muscle. And something I am particularly proud of, I did something yesterday I haven't done in 15 years. I actually benched 225. If you know what that means, it means I had 2 plates, 2 wheels, and I hadn't done that since I was 31 or 32. So again, benched 225. So not only am I losing weight, losing fat, gaining muscle, I'm clearly getting stronger. So benching 225 was a nice surprise. I didn't know that I could, but we got it up for 1 rep yesterday, which I am particularly proud of. So yay me. What else? Congress budget watchdog says the big beautiful bill will add 2.4 trillion to the national debt. Again, remember, Elon Musk thinks it's a disgusting abomination. He's very eloquent with his words. So again, it'll be interesting to see what the Senate does with that big beautiful bill. How do they hopefully improve it? But more to come on that. Intuit did a survey I thought was interesting. 59% of Americans who are 18 to 25, so we can think Gen Z, say that a well-funded savings account is a top priority. That's interesting. However, only 15% are regularly putting a portion of their paycheck into savings. Again, consumers are remarkably consistent. You can get surveys that say, yes, this is important, and then you actually get actuals that say, no, it's not. This is just the human condition, sort of like inflation expectations or spending patterns. You may say one thing, you may feel one thing, but you may do something else. Along that article, it led me to a survey from Bankrate. Bankrate did a survey that said less. This one's amazing to me. And I think the folks at One Rental at a Time, I don't think any of you, or hopefully most of you, don't fall into this, but it is kind of shocking to me. Less than 50% of Americans, could handle a $1,000 emergency. That's not good. That's not good. Bankrate went on to say there's 3 things you could do to increase your savings or get that emergency fund. Focus on yourself, which I really take to mean stop trying to impress other people, stop living for others, do you. Number 2, track your spending. Couldn't agree more. I would tell you it's not enough to track your spending, but something that really helped us when we went from spending everything to saving some real money was look at your spending and ask yourself, is this a need or a want? If it's a want, maybe you don't do it until you have an emergency fund. And then finally, you have to make savings a habit. I actually suggest making savings a game, right? How much discretionary income can you make? Can you double it? Can you triple it? All of these things are important. One last thing I forgot to mention about the Beige Book. It set a record. Last month, the word tariff was mentioned 107 times. The report that came out yesterday did it one better. It had 122 times. And then lastly, we got a couple of earnings that I thought were interesting. MangoDB beat top line and bottom line, raised guidance. Good on them. Five Below beat top line, beat bottom line, but lowered forecast, citing macro environment. Folks, don't forget to join school. Join school. 67 pennies a day. And you will have the opportunity to spend 2 hours this Sunday with Dion and I, and you'll be able to spend 1 hour with Dion, Matt, and I. As Matt, the lumberjack, can only make the first hour, but Dion and I will be there for the first 2 hours. So if you ever wanted to come in, ask some questions, give it a try, go ahead and buy 1 month. Hopefully you'll get 3 or 4 chances to interact with different people on Sundays, see what it's all about, be a part of the 400 or so folks going in the same direction. And if you don't like it, just cancel. Give it a month. Give it a try. All right, folks, take care. Have a wonderful day. Again, we will next do the daily financial news, 7:30 a.m. Sunday morning. All right, folks, take care. Have a great day. Later.